What's up? Something new today. We're going to try something new. People that know me know this already, so I'm sort of just repeating myself. But, aside from motorcycles, like music, collecting records, collecting this, collecting that, that's kind of part of who I am. So I think I want to try something new and do sort of like a introduction to some records. And first of all, let me preface this by saying I like a huge, wide array of music, like totally different genres today we're kind of doing like a punk, hardcore, crusty kind of vibe, but we're going to do dance records, we're going to do hip-hop records, reggae, we're going to do rock records, we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. It's basically like, I don't know, you can't put me in a box. I like all this stuff, and I like it equally, and I'm as passionate about this stuff as I am other stuff. So anyway, I don't know, I just thought it'd be something cool, fun to do. Some stuff you probably never heard of, some stuff I'm sure you have heard of, but in this video, we're going to do like a playlist. We're going to list some like key tracks off of some of these. We can't really play the music because copyright stuff, the videos will get taken down or whatever. But we are going to have like a little playlist so you can basically copy and paste into another YouTube window and listen to the songs, or possibly we're going to make a Spotify playlist. And if you go to the website, I think if you go to my website, cutrate.us, thecutrate.us, we're going to sign up for the email, and we'll like send out an email blast like, hey, we just did a new podcast, or we did a new playlist, or we did a new video, and you'll get all the info straight, and then you can just go right to it. But nonetheless, I don't know, let's introduce some records, some cool stuff that I think is cool. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. If this isn't your thing, get out of here, or listen to, like, give it a shot. Maybe you'll be like, oh, I never even heard of that band. I didn't even think I liked that kind of stuff. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, whoa, tell me more. So anyway, yeah, I guess let's get into it. First, if you're a fan of UK punk, sort of, not early punk. Early punk too, but like 80s and up. Okay, let's just start. Broken Bones, Decapitated, 1983. Broken Bones, basically, for example, if you've ever seen on any of my bikes the FOAD moniker that I use on a lot of stuff, that's what this is from, Broken Bones. Fuck Off and Die. It's one of their more popular songs. It's not on this record, it's on another record called FOAD. Anyway, Decapitated, it's, really every song on here is good to me. Decapitated, IOU, Crucifix, Problem, Fight the Good Fight, Seeing Through My Eyes, Never Say Die, Death is Imminent, Decapitated Part 2. Yeah, man, like, if you like Discharge, if you like Amoeba, you already know this. If I'm telling you these bands and you already know them, you already know how good this is. I don't even really need to say anything more. But artwork is sick. Yeah, man, Broken Bones. I don't know. I wish we could play these. It'd be a lot cooler. But anyway, yeah, boom, check it out. Now this one, it's in the same vein, but not. And there's going to be a lot of contention with this one. I would say it's one of my favorites, but then again, I maybe have weird taste. Discharge, but yes, Grave New World. Most people who like Discharge, if you like Broken Bones, you already like Discharge. But if you like Discharge, you probably hate this album. But that's kind of the point. I think Grave New World, Gatefold, one of my favorites. First of all, this is from later, mid-80s Discharge, which, they did change directions a little bit. This is definitely more on the high-pitched vocal, heavy metal style thing. And you got to remember, at the time, everyone was a Discharge fan, essentially, and then this record came out, and everyone was like, awesome, the new Discharge record's just came out, and then they listen to it and they're like, what the hell is this? Which I kind of like. That's sort of something I like. I mean, I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty sick. I mean, and anyway, the artwork on this thing, again, also very sick. Like it's kind of tonal. I don't even know if you can see that. It's silver on black, but really sick artwork. You know, it's an acquired taste. Maybe you're just not there yet. I get it. You know, it's okay. The transition to this next one is interesting because the next one is a comp. I would say this is probably one of my favorite comps from Japan. It's the Game of Death comp. There's 4 bands on here that are all really good. Now, let me start with the connection. So if you like Grave New World, if you like that style, mid-era Discharge, you're gonna wanna listen to Final Bombs. And these guys are friends of mine. And this album, I think, came out in like 89, maybe 90, but it's 80s era Japanese hardcore. Final Bombs like is basically Grave New World. I mean, it's the Japanese version of this. Like, that's what they do. And like, the drummer, you can see the female drummer in the center with the Frisco Choppers t-shirt on. How sick is that? Kuma-san Bear Bomb. I mean, honestly, like, it's sick. This is such a good comp. So anyway, Final Bombs, Ghoul, my probably second favorite, third favorite Japanese band, maybe, I don't know. Super, super good. They kind of like, let's see, their musical style sort of evolved over the years. Kind of went from like more like, I don't know, like punky punk kind of stuff to like more like sort of weird metal-y but like dark kind of stuff later on. Death Side, still somewhat active. Death Side, the singer is Ishia. He's in a band called Forward now for the last 30 years. Also really, really good. Yeah, Death Side's like seminal Japanese hardcore. You need to know that. And then Poison Arts. I don't want to say my least favorite on this. It's my least favorite on this comp. I mean, I like Poison Arts, but a little more not. It's not as heavy and as good, I think, as the other ones. But also definitely worth a listen. Really good. This is like a sort of gatefold. Got lyric sheet in here in Japanese. Yeah. Really, really, really good comp. I mean, I think I bought this in Japan maybe 20 something years ago. Yeah, at least over 20 years ago. Really good. Sticking with the Japanese theme, man, this one really sort of hits me in the gut. This is Tetsu Arrey 2, T2 as they call it. It's a gatefold. So this band, man, and I will say this is like the most, for me anyway, the most prime era of this band. They had maybe 4 or 5 records, I think 4 or 5 records come out, plus some singles and stuff. But this era is sort of like the home run for me, because when I first went to Japan 25 years ago, I was already into hardcore, metal, punk, all that stuff. I went there, I went to a show, this big concert. You can look it up. I mean, I think the videos are on YouTube, but it was called Air Jam. And it was like a lot of like pop punk bands and ska weird bands and like, I don't even like that, but some hip hop groups and some whatever. But it was like put on by this kind of cool guy festival type of thing. And like the bands that were there, the pop punk bands. I mean, I was actually friends with a lot of the members of some of those other bands. But anyway, I got invited to that concert, and they had a skate park and a thing. So it was like, we were just hanging out. It was cool. And then midday, I'm like, I didn't know too much about like the Japanese hardcore scene at that point. I mean, I knew that there were bands and stuff, but I don't know, I just really didn't know about it. So midday, this band comes on, I'm like, yo, what is that? Like, what the hell? Because like everyone else is like, I don't know, you know, I mean, if you watch the video, you'll see what I mean. The other bands look like, kind of whatevs. These dudes come out and I was like, yo, okay, now we're talking. And I kind of got the backstory later, but like they were invited to play. I mean, that wasn't really their crowd. That wasn't their audience, but they got invited to play because one of the members from the other really popular bands like loves these dudes, looks up to them. So he was like, yeah, I want you guys on the bill. So they played. Amazing. After that show, I was like, yo, tell me more. I basically started going to shows in Japan like a couple times a week, like all the time. I mean, yeah, there was a while where I was like going to studio shows, going to shows multiple nights a week. I mean, I'm basically friends with a lot of people in this band. So the singer, Butaman, Pigman, super cool dude, drummer, cocky. Joe is not in the band anymore. This is Jotaro. And Katsuta, he's in another band now called Extinct Government. Well, pretty much right after this, he was in a band called Extinct Government. He owns Tokyo Hardcore Tattoo, still active in the scene, very much so, still playing, whatever. But the music, I mean, how do I describe this? It's like heavy rock meets like hardcore. It's like very Japanese. Like, I don't know. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, you know, but it's like the riffs are like really like rocky, kind of melodic rocky, but like super heavy and like good build-ups and everything. And I mean, I've seen these dudes play, I don't know, between 50 and 100 times maybe, I'd say. Like I can't count. Like literally too many times to count. Super good. I mean, I saw them play in like 2004 with Poison Idea, and Poison Idea is super popular in Japan. Crowd was going crazy. These guys came on, eruption, nuts. I mean, stole the show, like super, super good. I mean, they kind of have, from what I understand, I don't want to say broken up. I mean, again, not in the band anymore, My other friend is now playing guitar in the band when they do play. The other bass player that was in the band recently just passed away last year. So I'm not really sure what the future is for this band. I mean, I hope that they continue to play. I mean, I really do. Like if they ever had like a last show, I'll book a plane ticket right now. Super, 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 super good in my opinion. And then another one, international, much later, boom, if you don't know, you need to know. Inepsy, this is sort of, again, Inepsy's earlier albums, also huge fan of them. No Speed Limit is the most, let's say, rock and roll sounding of their albums, which again, when this came out, people were like, what the hell, it sounded way more crusty before, and like this came out and people were like, I don't know about it. But then you listen to it, and then you listen to it again, and you listen to it again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And I can put this on front to back, never want to skip a song. To me, it's that good. It's just like, puts a smile on my face. Super, super, super good. And then when you hear the music, and then you see the dudes, the juxtaposition's almost even better. I mean, it's heavy, don't get me wrong, but like you see them, they're full on like gutter punk style, mohawks, like whatever. But then like it's very like sort of rock and roll. I mean, if you like Tank, if you like some certain Kiss songs, like this will sort of like ring a bell for you perhaps. It's really, really good. They're from Canada. They're from Montreal or Toronto, or I mean, sort of Eastern Canada, French-speaking Canada. I was able to. They've been broken up a long time. I think it broke up in like 2010. Sadly, never to get back together, from what I understand. I mean, I know multiple people that have tried countless ways for them to do a reunion show. It just won't happen. Like, I don't know if the band members just hate each other or what the deal is, but it ain't happening. I'm really pissed. I got to see them one time. I drove to Canada to see them, the second to last show. I didn't know they were going to break up, but it just happened. This is the second to last show where they broke up. Awesome, super awesome. Wish I could have seen them 100 times. Artwork, also super sick. The guitar player slash vocal, Channy, is the guy that did all the artwork on this. If by any chance you see this video, I've been trying to get this dude, like, pass this along, but I've been trying to get this dude to paint me a gas tank for 15 years somehow. Like, it's just, I have people working on it for me now, but I want artwork on a gas tank. You've seen the tank that I did on the Filthhound bike. I need some Channy artwork on some on a chopper gas tank. I'll build a bike around whatever he paints for me. So somehow pass that along. But most definitely, this was the sort of second to last album. They did come out with like a EP after this that didn't go backwards, but like up before this was like crusty punk, crust, and then this, and then the second one was like kind of a half step back, but also had bits of this in it. Super, super, super good. Maybe even the sweet spot for most people, I think. But this one's really good. And again, if you like this stuff already, you probably already know this. You probably already have this. You should. Yeah, I mean, what else to say? Anyway, so that's kind of like 5 of my heartfelt, I mean, you know, they're sort of genre-less, I guess you could say. I mean, Inepsy and Grave New World and Broken Bones and Tetsu Arrey, they don't really fit together, but they kind of do. Like, if you like one, you probably like the other, but they're definitely not like the exact same genre. But anyway, check out the playlist underneath, and check. I'm gonna do other of these reviews. Hopefully, if you don't already have these records, go get them. Support the bands that are still around, which is actually not really any of these bands, but you know, whatever. Some of these have been reissued on whatever, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out in my opinion. So check it out.